It's not very often we get a truly clean shop, so I thought I would, and clean as far as like not work being in here. But I thought I'd do just a quick walkthrough of the shop real quick, kind of give you some ins and outs. If you want to see something more in depth, definitely hit me up and let me know in the comments. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. We got plenty of projects. I've got a generator here. I need to go through the carburetor, find out why it doesn't run. This cabinet here holds my oil filters of normal vehicles. We do a lot of rehab work on 543 valves, a lot of LS work, or a fair amount of LS work. The 4.2 inline 6-cylinder in Trailblazers. And then I've got my fluids that I prefer to keep in bulk here. That is a new printer, and that is parts for a Volkswagen project that's coming in here pretty quick. These two cabinets here are full of just fluids, paints, just miscellaneous, what I would consider consumables. I guess I should back up here. This is a 12,000 pound Challenger 2-post. As you can see, when we went to torque the concrete, it buckled part of the concrete, so we had to saw that out. That's why the coloration's different. That is a very good drill press. I don't use it terribly often. We try and keep it covered. Every shop's got to have a fridge. There's no beer in there, just if anybody's interested. Keeps us running. Lots of water, a little Red Bull, a little Monster in there. We do have a Robinair AC machine. That is the solvent tank that I use now. There's a short and a little bit longer video of a new solvent tank, and it's looking like we may have a line on a wash cabinet, so we'll see whether that shows up. Just an oil caddy here. This is a nice tech tip. That's an old condenser that we've repurposed to clean parts on. It's worked out really good. Here we've got a bench. I think that's a Blue Point bench. I did buy it from Snap-on. We're in the midst of doing some transmission rebuilds, so we added that 10-ton press. Don't bother with that. This is a 10,000 pound, and we didn't have the concrete buckle here, but we did go ahead and saw it and replace it. Challenger 2-post that was put in at the same time as the 12K. Back here is just some odds and ends. I keep a lot of our consumables in here, different nuts and bolts and just kits of different things. I really need to organize it a little bit better. Snap-on screw jacks. We have several of those. Safety jacks. This is our, I think John Bean maybe is who makes these. If somebody does know, we've got a matching set of tire changing and balancer. I don't use them terribly much. It seems to go in waves. I won't do tires for 2 months, and then I'll put tires on every vehicle I come across. So kind of just set up here in the corner. It's worked out good for us. I got some cleaning to do here in the middle. This 2-post lift is the old Chinese 2-post lift. It's going to a friend of mine. He's going to put it to work. This is a buddy of mine's service cart we're setting up, so he's got a good, nice work area. The one that's messy is my service cart, but it stays very, very busy all the time. Need to clean off the bench. We just finished up transmission about a week or two ago. This is actually set up more for my welding, but when we have a transmission to build, which we don't build terribly too many of those, we'll get it all cleaned up and ready for transmission work versus fabrication work. Doing some pressure washer work on skid steer. That's why it's out. This is a new agitator wash tub, I guess. Over here in the corner, keep a pipe bender, plasma cutter, transmission service machine, air compressor, and then that pellet stove was an addition last year. As you can see, we're doing some insulating. We don't have it all done yet. See back in here, I still need to get some insulation done. I do run Miller welders most of the time. I prefer them. I've done some Lincoln work over the years. It's been okay. Probably should do a full toolbox tour at some point. Snap-on, air-driven tranny jack, some of the best money I ever spent. Little Ben Pearson pipe bender in here. Snap-on Mr. Big. Eastwood teardown bench. And then this is a custom-built catch-all at this point, but when I am doing fab work, I clean it all up. And that is a custom-built table that I use for my chop saw. I prefer the DeWalt chop saws. I've run a lot of Makitas, was what the company I worked for previously used. And then some Milwaukees, they've been okay, but I prefer the DeWalt. Now, all the haters out there, I've gotten some crap about different electric tools, and I really don't have an allegiance to any of them. Whatever the best one is the one that I want. Now, this is just a small amount of electric tools. I actually keep most of them in my roll cart because I use it most of the time. And it's a mess, but I'm just keeping it real with you guys. So I obviously like DeWalt, but I've got a lot of Milwaukee and a lot of Snap-on. And then you can tell I've been in the business a long time. There's still some air stuff that I just can't bring myself to get rid of. There'll be a video on that. I'd like to get in the argument side of things with some folks. Everybody's got an opinion, I suppose, which is fine. So we got a Snap-on basically service cart here. I haven't used it a whole lot other than pile a bunch of stuff on it. Small torch set, and then just some random stuff here in the shop. So if there's anything you're more interested in than others, let me know. We'll do a more in-depth video on it. But I don't get this glimpse very often to actually show how big the shop is. And we use every inch of the shop. The shop is 40 feet deep. And so we do 2 vehicles in here at certain times. And we get the service done. It's tight. I need to clean it up. I need to get it a little more efficient, but it's working all the time. We did install mini splits. I think we're going on our second full year, so we've got 2 summers worth of use out of those mini splits. Excellent, excellent investment. So hope this is interesting. Like, subscribe if you made it this far in the video. You want to know anything else, let me know.